Okay, hey you guys, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I'm not even ready yet, but I was doing my makeup on Facebook and I saw that this was live coverage being put out. Cameras there waiting for Todd and Julie Chrisley to be released from prison. So without one eyebrow completed, without my hair done, I was like, we're gonna hop on a live because I don't want to miss them being released from prison. We are gonna go back and forth between there's several outlets right now showing this. I'm not just going to stay on one. We're going to watch several. We got this is Fox 10. This is Where Channel. So it kind of looks like this one is pointed directly at a portion of the prison where he could potentially walk out of. I'm not really sure. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna keep it kind of small until we see movement or they start talking. Then I'll make it big because obviously I do want to follow, proper protocol for I wonder if Todd is getting out first. You know, it seems like I can't find anything showing like, hey, we're waiting for Julie to get out. Todd is the main star, maybe you could say, for some people in some people's eyes. I like Julie too, but I am wondering if there's even cameras over there. If there's even cameras where she's going to be released. But I hope so. I know whenever they were brought to prison, she went to take her dad. Her and Nick took her dad, and I think Chase and her parents brought her. Julie's parents brought her. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I was wondering which one she would go to. Like if they're going to be released around the same time, where will she go? Because they had to be turned in at the same time. This is a very like impromptu thing for me to do right now. I'm only doing it because, everybody's live right now. I wonder if Savannah picks up Todd first, then they drive to pick up Julie. I think they have to fly to pick up Julie. I don't think it's a drive. Her mom's in Kentucky. Savannah's friend, Chad. That's right, Chad. Yes. Like station will probably be our two Kentucky stations that may cover Julie's release. So, okay, if anybody can find Julie's release, let me know, and I'll try to pull up both of them. Savannah will get her dad. Chase will get her mom. That's what they did, dropping them off for Savannah. Also, we're gonna bring up Instagram to see if Savannah has anything else posted. Oh no, we can't play that. But so this is the lady right here that helped Savannah get this done. This is the lady that Kim Kardashian helped get out of prison. This lady right here was in prison serving like a life sentence or something crazy on like marijuana charges. And this is who uh, Kim Kardashian, got released. And this Alice Marie Johnson was pardoned by Trump the first time when he was originally in office the first time. The sound, the sound didn't go out. I muted it because it was music. So many people say, "Oh, it's because they're rich and they stole $30 million." Do you know that's been changed? Do you know that's been changed? That now it's down to like 7, I think. Did you know that not one bank went after them? Did you know that the first search warrant that was ever done was an illegal search warrant that the judge had not signed off on? Did you know that the investigator that went forward with that search warrant lost his job? Did you know that the state of Georgia also said that Todd and Julie Chrisley owed them money? Come to find out, the state of Georgia owed Todd and Chrisley money. Look into this case. It's not what it appears. It is literally a prime example of the media outlet grabs a hold of something, they run with it. They don't like certain people, so they put all of this out there. It was a witch hunt. Exactly. There's attorneys on YouTube that covered this case and all mind blown. Like, what? How did this even happen? Like, look into this crime. It would like look into this. Look into this, please. Anybody that comes in here, like, oh, they stole all this money. Have you looked into this? Have you watched lawyers on YouTube go over all the paperwork to be like, how did this happen? This is illegal. This shouldn't have happened. How did they do this? Like, no, this should have never happened. Attorneys that have no dog in this race. not fans of the Chrisleys, don't care, maybe even Democrats, but literally saying, like, "This does not make sense." Wouldn't did you see what Katie Joy put out? Did you see what she put out? The state of Georgia paid the Chrisleys $1,000,000. Exactly. The state of Georgia went after the Chrisleys, claiming the Chrisleys owed them money, that the Chrisleys weren't paying their taxes. Then, come to find out, the Chrisleys overpaid their state taxes, and then the state had to pay them $1,000,000. So please look into this. I mean, I know, when we read something, like, we just think, like, oh, well, how are two people that stole $30 million? How are they getting out of prison? How are they? First off, even if they would have stole $30 million, 12 years, that's more than what some people that take a life get. Some people take a life and get less than that. Well, here's the thing. Some people don't get accused of stealing $30 million without proof. Come on. You want to know what this proof was? So their assistant admitted to making fake bank statements. He made an email account in Todd's name. He admitted to pretending to be Todd. He admitted to all these things. He got immunity. And you know what he had to say? Todd knew about it. That's all he had to say. He got immunity. He admitted all these things in court. But all he had to say is, well, Todd knew, Julie knew. The banks even said that when the housing industry collapsed and, people were not paying their loans back, Todd called them directly and was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna make sure we pay y'all." And they said Todd was on top of paying them. The only thing that the bank employees testified was that Todd tried to stay on top of it. That when everybody else was going belly up, that Todd did try to make sure he paid his, and that he was one of the ones that paid for a long time. And they said Julie Chrisley never signed a document. They're like, Julie Chrisley never signed a document. Like, she came in here and paid a couple of times, but we don't know how she's even a part of this. So, and also the IRS employee. So they had two witnesses. They had two witnesses. A former employee who admitted to falsifying documents, who admitted to making an email in Todd's name. That way, when he would email people, it looked like it come from Todd. That way, when he would talk to banks, they thought they were talking to Todd. He was the main witness, and then an IRS employee who literally stated on the stand that Todd and Julie owed taxes and had not paid taxes. And then after the trial, after they were found guilty, so what happened was she said all this. Oh, they owe taxes. They haven't paid taxes. Blah 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 blah. So their attorney was like, "Well, we need you to get in touch with us and let us know how much they owe because they would like to get this settled." She never did. So afterwards, that their attorney got in touch with this lady at the IRS and was like, "How much do they owe? We want to get it settled." And she goes, "Oh, they don't owe anything." And he was like, "Well, how do they not know any? How do they not owe anything? You testified at trial, they did." And she said, "Oh, well, I was told to testify that. I was told to testify that they owed money. The prosecution told me that I was to testify that they owed money." This lady came out. That's how they won the appeal. They won the appeal because the lady admitted that in like wrote a statement saying the prosecution told me that I'm to testify as if it's this date, which was a date before they had paid all their stuff. I hope we get to watch him walk out. We're gonna kind of try to jump over to. I'm sorry, but they let Gypsy Rose Blanchard out after unaliving her mother. The Chrisleys did not deserve to go to exactly. And then they want so. Did you see the interview that Chrissy's lawyer did last night? No, where at? Where's it at, Jay? We'll try to watch it really quickly while we're waiting for this. I'm so glad. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm eating. My eyebrows are not done. I was on a live on Facebook doing my makeup. So for anybody on here that's like, how do you do your makeup? Go watch me on Facebook. I do my makeup on there. Yes, she said, let me find it. I'll show you guys really quickly. I think I took a screenshot of it because I was just like, what is going on? Savannah put a lot of time and effort into. Don't you know they are so proud of her? I think that they have better things to do than focus on her irrelevant, nondescript butt. Elle, do we know when they are getting out? Sometime today. So we might be sitting here for a while. I wish I had like timestamps to like Emily Baker when she went over this case, when she was like, whoa, no, this should have stopped right here. Like, when Emily Baker was covering the case and she was reading it, she was like, this should have never made it this far. This was illegal. Is Todd getting out before Julie? I see Semi Channel's looking out for Todd, but what about Julie? Same. I know, right? Savannah's getting all that inheritance. Not saying that she did it for that, but they're like favorite child. Um, Finally, while I appreciate many of you reaching out about their pardon, asking me, a victim of Todd Chrisley's malicious attacks and smear campaign, to further report on the situation or answer questions. Something insensitive. This man accused me of child and recommended people report me to authorities. He intimidated and threatened me for 3 years. His release gives me great anxiety and causes me fear for my safety. Like, girl, you accused him of hella things. He did not accuse you of child abuse. He just said, like, don't you have a child that like you need to be tending to? Like, why are you like so enthralled in my life? He did not accuse you of child abuse. Katie said I accused her of child abuse too, which is like crazy. I would never accuse some. I've covered Janelle and I still ain't accused that girl of child abuse. So like if I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just wild. Me too, charmed girl. We love the Chrisleys here. We love the Chrisleys here. All right. So let me jump back to where I saw that Rhonda. Josh Duggar is now trying to get new attorneys in hopes that he can get a Trump pardon as well. He is. That ain't gonna happen, Captain. I'm sorry to tell you, Josh Duggar, you're in there for the long haul. Lindsay did work with the FBI. From my understanding, yeah, my understanding, yes, she did work with the FBI. Wait, I don't even know how to check my IG from a computer. Let me get on my phone and check it. Oh, don't you know Nanny Faye is so excited? Victory lap. Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic's on everybody's post. How about me? I didn't do anything to be here. Please. They admitted to perjury on world television, yet I'm still here. Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic was literally in Ryan Anderson's live the other night. Ryan Anderson, Gypsy Roses, man. Joe Exotic was on his live and was like, hey, please, I need your help. I'm like, what? I don't know if the parents cut her off. I can tell you Todd and Julie are way more forgiving than Savannah is. Okay, good. All right, we're going to bring this up really quickly. Has Lindsay posted anything about it? Honestly, I don't know if she has. I don't know. All right, let's bring up their attorneys. Wait, you guys aren't going to be able to hear that.
This has been a day for you
Yeah.
all
That's
and the
been a
Chrisley
day.
family, that's for sure. A lot of people are just wondering, how long has this been in the works?
Well, I think as soon as President Trump was elected, the family knew that this was something they were going to try to do, was to ask the president for a pardon. And so since November, we've been working on a plan to, put their story together, make it as persuasive as possible, and eventually get the president to see this is a good decision. And he did.
Is everything signed, sealed, and delivered now? The paperwork is in already?
Not everything. So it's happening sort of this evening as we go. They are not yet released.
I think the release said that it could be as early as tonight or a couple days. Where do you see that falling right now?
I don't think it's going to last past tomorrow, and I hope that it doesn't last past tomorrow.
That is something that we heard the president say as well in the video to Savannah, that he hopes that they can get this done by tomorrow. So in effect,
technically, when his pen hits the paper, they are no longer supposed to be detained.
Mm-hmm.
And so we hope the bureaucracy and the BOP will quickly make sure that's what happens.
So in your estimation, by tomorrow, we will see Todd and Julie in cars on their way home, getting on a plane, going to home with their family.
That's certainly what we would expect.
Mm-hmm. When did you first hear that this pardon was actually going to happen?
Just a few minutes after Savannah got the call from President Trump. And I think she
Oh, well, so Savannah knew about it before he did. It wasn't like there was a call to the attorney saying, hey, they're going to be pardoned, like the president's going to be calling you. Sharon, a lot of people think that they, are these big time criminals, but if you really research into this case, you will see how railroaded they were. And that's why they received this pardon. There's a reason they won appeals. Like, however, the appeal still ended up with, Julie somehow getting more time. The two witnesses that testified, one admitted to lying, one signed a full immunity deal, but admitted to doing everything illegal that was done in this case. The one witness, the business partner, said he literally uh, falsified documents. They actually, did you know the state of Georgia had to pay them? The state of Georgia claimed that they evaded taxes and they didn't pay their taxes. But come to find out, the state of Georgia, they won a $1 million lawsuit with Georgia because that it was not true. So a lot of what is out there in the public, unless you research this case, it's actually not like the facts are not the facts of what you think they were. Go watch Alex Little dive into it. Go watch Emily D. Baker, the lawyer I think did a video on this. Yeah, Fulton County is full of corruption.
Talked about this on social media. She got a call from basically the president's secretary who said, "Hey, I've got a call for you," and hands the phone over, and it's President Trump saying this is what he's going to do.
Logistically, how does this work? Because both Todd and Julie are in separate states. I know Savannah said she's on her way to pick up her parents. Does one kid go pick up mom, kid go pick up dad? How is this logistically going to work?
Yeah, unfortunately, they are sort of in opposite directions from their home where they live now in Nashville. So some of the family's going to go north to Lexington to get Julie, and some of the family's going to go south to Pensacola to pick up Todd.
How did they react to the news, Todd and Julie?
Oh, I mean, I think they're ecstatic.
Absolutely.
This is, something that I think neither of them expected, because when you are serving a sentence, you don't want false hope, and you don't know what day you may get a phone call like this, but they're certainly very, very excited.
Who told them? Did they hear the news from Savannah? Did they hear the news from the Bureau of Prisons?
From Savannah.
This is what I wanted to know.
I can't imagine what that phone call was like.
Good one. Very good.
Yeah. Is Savannah bringing anything? I know she said she was upstairs. They were getting their room ready. They were getting the house ready. Is she bringing anything from home with her? I guess besides a change of clothes to bring to her parents?
I definitely know a change of clothes is on the list. I think besides that, I doubt there's much that Todd and Julie want besides getting to their house and to give their family members a hug.
I was going to say, is there anything that they've asked for specifically, for her to bring to them? I guess not. Just basically, I guess you said getting home.
Yeah, getting home, getting family they can hug.
Mm-hmm. I know back in February of this year, Savannah met with the president and she was advocating for her parents' release. Can you give us any details in that conversation, what some of the things she said to him were?
Yeah, I think the conversations have been pretty consistent with the story we've been telling publicly, that there were some real issues with the trial. There were some real issues with the way they were selected for prosecution. I think had they not been reality TV stars who were sort of aligned with conservative movement, I think they probably would not have been prosecuted at all. And so they've kept the story pretty consistent about why they were targeted and also the way they were treated. I mean, the sentences in this case were extremely, extremely serious for, compared to other defendants in similar situations.
Mm-hmm. Did he give her any indication then that he believed a pardon would be coming?
I think the White House and President Trump has always just said, we're going to take it seriously. We're going to look at it. And that's what they've done.
So despite this presidential pardon, are they still required, Todd and Julie, to pay restitution for the crimes that they were convicted of?
Yeah, so some of that will depend on how the pardon is written. We understand it to be, based on what the president said today, a full pardon, which would wipe away any of those sorts of penalties. So things like restitution or the fines would be removed. It's the criminal restitution where the judge found that all the banks total across a number of years had lost that amount of money, and so that's the amount that they were ordered to repay. And so that was a form of restitution.
Has that been in the works? Have they been repaying this up until now, or have they already repaid the entire amount?
Yeah, so the government has been collecting some of those funds since the sentences were imposed.
Yeah, it's my understanding they don't have to pay restitution. If it's a full pardon, they don't have to pay restitution. I'm gonna try to jump back over. I don't want to watch the thing in full because I don't want us to get in trouble playing that full. We're gonna jump back over here really quickly. Actually, I'm gonna do it a different way. That way I can switch over a lot easier. Yes, so they are doing a new show. Um, they are doing a new show, and from my understanding, so there's people walking down there. That's inmates walking down there. Um, it looks like that's just inmates like walking through or whatever. But the amount that they claim they stole went from like 30 million to like drop down to like maybe 7 or 12. I don't remember. I know, like, if you look it up, like 30 million is like what you're gonna always come across. It's like always gonna be like 30 million, 30 million, 30 million. But that's the reason Julie Chrisley's um, charges, her sentencing was supposed to be lessened because they actually could not prove that she really had anything to do with it, and they couldn't prove that it was more than like either 7 or 12 through the appeals process. Yeah, they're going to get to see each other. I wonder if if they get a full pardon, I wonder if they will get that money back. Wouldn't that be crazy? They sold their house. So the new show was just going to be based on the kids, right? Because Todd and Julie, they still had a substantial amount of time to spend in prison. Savannah has been filming a new show since like right after her parents went in, she was filming. So I hope they do. I wonder if that's just like random people there. Like, yeah, like Lindsay, from my understanding, like met with like the FBI and told them some things. It's crazy that Lindsay went to this extent. Just stop talking to them. Don't snitch. I know. Let's see if she's made any posts. One day ago, she made a post not about this. 23 hours, she made a post, her and her co host. 23 hours ago, she made a post saying, with God, all things are possible with a heart. So, no post directly about her parents getting out, but she did make a post saying, with God, all things are possible. So, I mean, Savannah worked so hard, and I'm just so ready to see their family back together. Okay, there's a white van. There's some white vans. Where are we going? What are we doing? What is going on? Apparently, he went gray pretty quickly. Savannah did talk about that on her podcast about how he was not happy to be all gray. Chase is probably going to get Julie. Probably, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Savannah's getting her dad, and Chase is going to get Julie. You know what's really sad though is Nick. Okay, where we got movement at? Nick, Savannah's, former fiance, went with Savannah to drop Todd off because they were very close. And he passed. You know, he didn't, Todd and Julie were in prison when he passed away. Presidents pardon who they want to pardon. You sent them to, wait, what did you send to me? Okay, I'm looking. Yolanda Salvador's parole here. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let me tell you something. The only reason I don't cover more Diva is not because I don't want to be more, it's not, it's just because I have 6 kids. I have 6 kids, a very busy life, and I still try to do this as much as I can. So it's not, I loved Selena. Growing up, that was my favorite. Music was like my favorite songs. I learned how to do the washing machine. It was not that I did not want to. It was just strictly a time thing. Like, so that's all that it was. Do we know if they're filming a new show already? Yes, they are filming a new show already. Uh, Savannah has confirmed that on her podcast that they are already filming a new show. They have been. As reality TV cameras are ready to roll on their prison release, TMZ has learned. Production sources tell TMZ that Chrisley's new Lifetime reality show is already rolling with cameras tracking Savannah and Chase's every move. So with their parents walking out of prison soon, you can bet that will be a major part of their storyline. Oh, Mary, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. We are told sources connected to the family that the current production plan is to have cameras rolling in Florida for Todd and in Kentucky for Julie, ready to capture their release and bring back the classic Chrisley chaos. Even though the cameras were not rolling on Tuesday, when Savannah got the bombshell call from Donald Trump herself, telling her he's part of their parents. I did hear that Grayson started recording that. Lindsay hasn't said anything besides she made a post a couple of hours ago saying like good things come to something about God is good or something. A pardon is where you are just forgiven for all your sins. No, it's where like all charges are dropped, completely dismissed as it is as if they never ever happened ever. You do not get out and go on probation. You do not get out and go on parole. You do not. Um, you don't have to pay any fees or fines or anything like that. It is just you get out as as soon as it's done. And where is the channel? Okay, I'm on where this one. Where channel 3? Okay, that's where I'm at right now. Yes, like it never happened. I think it's, do we get to see inside of somebody's life like this? Two people that go to prison and then they find out they're going to be pardoned, they get to come home. This is their life. And if they want to share that with the public so the public can see what they go through, I don't think that's them being fake. This is just my opinion. I don't see them being fake. Savannah, somebody said, like, oh, you sold your soul. And she's like, actually, I did this with the most integrity. Most people would have turned their back on God and would have been like, oh, why did you put my family through this? She was like, I kept my head held high. I fought the good fight. Like, I stayed true to who I was. Why do we think they will come down this road? This is the road leaving the prison. This is the road leaving the prison. This is going inside of the prison. And this is also the side of the prison. So this is one part. Go in. And like they are very much Christians, right? I'm a Christian. And we believe that all things happen for a reason. And I guarantee you Todd and Julie's gonna come out of this saying, while it was hard, I guarantee you they're gonna feel like there was a reason they were put there. Look what happened. Look how much corruption was exposed. Wardens that were fired because of how they were mistreating inmates. Uh, the federal prison where Todd was originally was shut down due to all the like the mold, black mold, like all the like it wasn't even conditions that even inmates should be in. But nobody said anything because guess what? Nobody was big enough to say anything. Nobody was big enough to say anything. It took somebody like Todd and Julie going to prison for them to have a following that they have. Okay. For them to have the following that they have for this to be exposed. Because anybody else, like even me, I was falsely arrested. I can't expose, what happened. I could. I don't have a big enough platform.
Guys, can we back up a little bit so everybody can get in here? We have plenty of room. There's no need for everybody to.
Y'all let me know when everyone's ready. We good?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
So we've been waiting for your dad to come out.
I know.
We keep thinking any minute.
I know. Yeah. Honestly, this process has been absolutely insane.
Can y'all hear this? Hold on.
There is not justice. So I'm ecstatic. President Trump's order that I got states, let me read it. I hereby designate, direct, and empower the Attorney General as my representative to sign the grant of clemency to the person named. I hereby designate, direct, and empower the acting director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons as my representative to immediately release the person. So he is to be immediately released, and I hope that the prison is going to do that shortly. So now I just sit and wait. I have literally been here. I got here at, I think it was 2 a.m. last night, and I have not gone to sleep. I did not bring any clothes with me. I did not bring a toothbrush with me. I brought absolutely nothing with me because I'm just a daughter who wants to take my dad home with me. So,
What was your dad's reaction when he found out?
they didn't believe it. I think it literally came out of nowhere. As I said, I was walking into the grocery store when I got the call from the president, and I was just in such shock and in such awe that the president himself called me and took the time to let me know that my family was coming back together. And for that, I will forever be grateful that we have an administration that is reuniting families. There was not only just my parents' clemencies that happened today, but I think there was at least 10, 15, 20 others that happened today. And there are a lot of families that are rejoicing, getting their loved ones back. And my little sister's at home. She's called me a gazillion times. Do you have dad yet? Do you have dad yet? So now we just sit and wait.
Were you the one who told your parents? Did you tell your parents?
I did.
What was that like?
It was great. It was absolutely amazing. My mom was in tears.
When you spoke with the president, what words were spoken between you and he?
Yes, all of our correspondence was on video. So he just called to let me know that he was reuniting my family. And he and my brother Grayson got to speak about the University of Alabama, where Trump just gave where President Trump just gave the commencement speech. So it was absolutely amazing. It truly was just a human to human interaction. Yes, he is our president, but he's also a person with a heart and who loves people well. And over the past 24 hours, I've gotten so much love and so much hate. And I've had people say, I wonder what she had to do to get this pardon. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do anything other than stand firm in my beliefs and my convictions and fight for my parents and fight for what was right. And not only am I fighting for my parents, I'm literally fighting for every single man that's being left behind here today. There are so many here that deserve a second chance. And Alice Johnson said it best. This isn't just for individuals who have been wrongfully convicted. This clemency process is for individuals who have served their time, who have been rehabilitated, who maybe just the punishment didn't fit the crime. So I truly believe that Ed Martin, Alice Johnson, the president, everyone in the pardon office, they're going to stand firm in their promises that they've made to us. And this new director of the Bureau of Prisons, Billy Marshall, I mean, I truly do believe that he is what this Bureau needs. And I've gotten the opportunity to have discussions with him, and he is going to bring change. He's going to expose the corruption, and he's going to hold people accountable. And I think now in this administration, we're going to have a Bureau of Prisons that we've all wanted, which is to rehabilitate individuals. Because at the end of the day, they are going to enter back into society. So we want them to enter back into society in a safer, faster manner and be rehabilitated.
Your dad has really called out the staff here, the issues here, the inhumane conditions. Are you confident that they're going to handle this process fairly in terms of releasing you? I mean, they've been nice to him today.
Yeah, of course. There's individuals who are being nice today, and I think they're getting nervous. There have been some really good individuals, and I'm not going to take that away from the Bureau. Of course, there's some corruption that needs to be weeded out. But for the good ones that are here, I'm grateful for them. And due to them, we can potentially have lasting change. But we've got to weed out the really crappy ones.
Yeah.
Can you talk about any plans your family has, short term and long term?
Yes. I mean, my family, we just want to get home. We want to get home. We want to be reunited. It's going to take a while. They've been behind walls for 2.5 years. And they thought they were going to be here for 12 and 7 years. So
cable prices have your wallet against the ropes.
What?
Are you pinned down by
Really? How do you put an ad in the middle of this?
combo?
The way that this system has been ran is not one that it's not one that takes individuals' mental health into account.
Right.
So
Ah.
it's going to be a journey, but honestly, with God on our side and with the support system that we have, I have a feeling that God is going to repay us tenfold.
What's
Yeah.
it mean seeing the supporters out here just waiting for your dad to get out?
Yes, I'll wait till his truck goes by.
Thank you.
Right? There's always. Honestly, I think for all the individuals that are here that have supported my family, thank you. We're so happy. Thank you. Just the people that have shown up here today. I know there's people at my mom's place. There's people with Trump flags flying. I mean, this president has given people hope in a future, hope in a brighter future, not just, as people like to say, for the wealthy or the people who have campaigned for him. He is truly giving everyone a chance at a better life, and for that, I will forever be grateful.
Savannah, this is very early to ask, but people online are really wanting to know any idea that your family might return to the screen again?
Yes. We have a new show coming out on Lifetime, and it will document all of these things. And we're excited. It's all God. We literally could not have done it. It's all God and President Trump at this point. So, yes.
When was the last time your parents have spoken to each other?
My parents have not spoken to each other, heard each other's voices, or seen each other in the past 2.5 years.
Wow.
It has been extremely difficult. Their 29th wedding anniversary was on May 25th. So we're only a few days out from that. So when they reunite, we're going to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays, Christmases, all the things, because we're going to make up for the lost time. But I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. The past 2.5 years has taught me so much, and I am a privileged white girl. I didn't know that there was a system that operated this way. And my parents going to prison, I thank God for it, because it opened my eyes to something so much greater than ourselves. And it opened my eyes to the men and women that are in this system that need people to fight for them. And this doesn't just stop with my family. I'm going to get my parents home, and I will be back in DC, and I will continue to fight for these men and women and reforms, and especially for women in the system. We need more bills in front of Congress, and we need to make sure that these individuals are rehabilitated and we're giving them proper tools to succeed, because right now we just aren't.
What do you expect the process to be like when you go in there?
I think they're ready to throw him out at this point. So I don't think it'll be too difficult. I think they're ready to throw him out and get him out, because we have exposed.
Just so you guys know, for those coming in and saying, like, pay your taxes. Like Todd said one time, they pay way more taxes than the average person. He's like, all the people that like have a regular job, he's like, we pay in taxes what you guys probably make in a year. And he's like, no shade or nothing. He's like, but we pay a ton in taxes. Meanwhile, you got people, because you know they did the podcast after they were indicted and everything. He said, we literally pay so much money in taxes. That's literally why the state of Georgia had to pay them $1 million, because they were wrongly convicted by the state of Georgia. Please do your research in this. They literally were some things done. Yes, their, his assistant or whatever it was made falsified documents, did get loans in their names, lied, and even on the stand admitted all this. On the stand admitted, yes, I did all of this. I made fake emails in Todd's name. I did this, but they knew about it. That was the only thing that this person said. They knew about it. Do your research, because they were railroaded. I was falsely arrested, went to jail, everything dismissed. I sued the police department. Emily D. Baker, a lawyer, has covered this. That's why there's not one lawyer that's covered this case that has ever said, yes, they deserve to be where they are and they deserve those sentences. Several attorneys have covered this on YouTube, attorneys that have no dog in this race, and they have said, this makes no sense. This was not okay. This was not done correctly, and they should not be in prison, especially for that long. Every attorney that you find that covers this on YouTube, real attorneys, former DAs, they were all like, we can't even believe this. This is corruption at its finest. So please do your research into this case. Please, please, please.
A lot of corruption, and I will continue to do so. And like I said, we have Billy Marshall, who wants the corruption being exposed. He inherited a broken system. Colette Peters, please step over there for me just for a minute. Thank you. Colette Peters, she destroyed the system. She did absolutely nothing to help the system. And I thought finally we had a woman in power. A woman was going to do something, because we as women can accomplish a hell of a lot more than a man can, in my opinion. So,
Dominic, I wish I could turn it up, but this is the loudest. Let me see.
But I do know that the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
Well, nope, she turned her back. Hold on. I'm going to keep everything paused until I can find whichever one has the best audio. So you guys bear with me.
Nothing's more powerful than a pissed off woman, a pissed off mom, a pissed off daughter. And that's what got me to where I'm at. So Billy Marshall, I hope he and Josh Smith are going to change the system. And I believe they will. I know they will. And like I said, Alice Johnson is a force to be reckoned with. At 70 years old, she is the story that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what cards you've been dealt. She is now working in the White House at 70 years old. And she was pardoned by President Trump. And she wants to see as many people out as she possibly can. She wants to give people a second chance. Alice Johnson is changing lives. And these men in here can change lives just like Alice Johnson can if they get out and they do right and they're rehabilitated. Yep. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see. Thank you so much. Thank you. So nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
They've been locked up. They went in January 2023.
We'll take a picture.
I had an ex in this prison too, and it's horrible.
Thank you.
So a little over 2 years, and they have not seen each other. Todd and Julie have not seen each other.
Sorry. I love your hat. Thank you. I love that hat.
Lily, come here. Lily, back up.
They have not heard each other's voice, like she said.
And my daughter. Yeah, and my sweet baby. Oh, she's like, let me have it.
Somebody got to be out there.
Oh, he's a little sweaty. We took the shirt off.
Oh, well, she took his shirt off. It's not like he showed up without the baby shirt on. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to be, but I do know that the Federal Bureau of Prisons truly wants to step foot in every single one of these facilities and see it firsthand. Yeah. So honestly, I want it to be shut down, but I don't want it to be shut down until Billy Marshall gets in here and does a full inspection to see the black mold, the asbestos, the lead-based paint, the food that these individuals are consuming. He has to see it firsthand.
Okay, so it hasn't been shut down yet, but they are supposed to shut it down due to
Yeah, I got you. Are we right after the break?
black mold.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
This is her daughter.
You can get another picture.
Dude, I should have jumped in my car last night and went. I don't know how long of a drive it is, but
He's like, Mom, I have to work, but I need you to get a picture of them.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna try to
Thank you.
I should have went to that.
Yes, of course.
Are you rolling on this too?
How long is this video going to be? Because we don't know. Savannah's there outside of Todd's prison. So we're hoping, she's there, then obviously they're going to get out soon.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. My grandma was setting me up in
And a lot of people say, like, oh, they're criminals. She shouldn't expect, 4 seasons. It's like, she's like, I just don't want them eating expired food or food that says not for human consumption.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that's not what they try to pull, but we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm just grateful that they're coming home. I'm grateful to President Trump and just for his entire office, his administration. It's regardless, whether it's tonight, tomorrow, now, I will take whatever I can get.
What's it gonna be like to hug your dad again?
It's gonna be insane. I'm so we have a Maserati and it's probably work at the prison. Of course.
Thank you. Savannah. Take live like 30 seconds.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Yes, of course. Hi.
Great interview with Mackenzie yesterday, by the way. Thank you so much. I'm glad a lot of people were open to that interview. Some people were not so much. Some people watched the interview and still nitpicked over the way she said a word, you know. Thankfully, most people were very open to it.
Let's go.
Oh, I thought that was a real baby for a second. I was like, look at that baby's hair. So she got in, she drove in, and I think she got in to the town at like 2 a.m. I don't think she's been waiting outside the prison since 2 a.m., if that makes sense.
Thank you. You know what? I wouldn't have it any other way now.
Let me see this.
Yes, of course. How are you?
Thank you, Colby.
Oh, thank you. It was so nice to meet you. Awesome. I know. I gotta do something with Brian. I know. I got it. So I went on the Women for Trump tour. And so during the Trump administration, they've got Air Force One jackets. They've got all these different things. And this one is when I went on the campaign trail. So it was awesome. I'm not. I just
Want to interrupt real quick? We got News Nation Live here, Savannah. How
We
is
know
your
him.
dad?
What channel is he on? What channel is he on?
presidential order states that he is to be released immediately. So I'm hoping that they are getting him ready inside now to go. They are saying that they have to wait to see his date change in the system. But we'll see whether it's now, whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow. I am just grateful to the president, his administration, Alice Johnson, Ed Martin, all of them for making this happen and just believing in justice, doing their due diligence, looking at the facts of the case, because not many do that. Many go with the headlines of the $30 million fraud scheme, and that is so far from the truth.
You've been here so many times to visit your dad.
Yes.
I mean, what does it feel like? You're literally going to leave with him.
It's absolutely amazing. I am beyond blessed and honored to be leaving with my dad. It's bittersweet leaving a lot of these men behind because you really become family with these individuals and their families. But
I'm trying to find that, you guys.
I'm not leaving them behind for long. I'm going to continue to fight for these men and women within the system and within the Bureau of Prisons. Like I said, I believe in law and order, but I believe in a system that rehabilitates individuals and gives them a second chance at society if that is what is deserving. So
I looked up News Nation, but it's not saying that it's live. I literally just looked up News Nation.
Thank you for
Right, girl. All right.
Who was that? Pulling her away. Where's she going? He's on TikTok. No, she's not married. They're like, we about to peep and see what they're doing. All right. You said TikTok, News Nation. That's not Alex Little, I don't think. Okay, so he's not live. Chase is in Kentucky to get his mom. That's definitely not Robert either. Kind of looked like him at first, but it's not. That's Tyler Bishop, her friend. And that, oh, I wonder if that's because that's production back there, I think, for their show. So can you tell me some videos to watch to prove their innocence of corruption? Yes, Emily D. Baker on YouTube. Let me see if this is okay. I will get a link for one. She is former district attorney, prosecutor. And she goes over the whole case. And this is weird. Why are they filming from there? Are we going to bring that one? Yeah, they said Chloe is at home. All right, just look at this. Here's a couple of real quick. Lawyer reacts. Todd Chrisley sues new drug opinion. Lawyer reacts to Chrisley convictions. The Emily show. So here's some Emily D. Baker. Just put in Emily D. Baker and the Chrisleys. And she has been, like I said, a former DA, prosecutor. She's been doing this for a long time. And she even was like, this makes no sense. Like, all of this is illegal. She broke down everything beautifully, all the corruption. Exactly. I wonder what they're doing. What they doing? They just got their camera sitting off the side. So we're gonna go back to Savannah now. You're welcome, Ashley. You know, I know for anybody that doesn't really keep up with this, it's just like, what? Two people that stole $30 million are getting out of prison? Like, you know, it doesn't make sense. Fox News has something. I have Fox News still pointed at like the back of something.
I missed it. Yeah.
Somebody say cameraman is drunk.
Savannah, do you expect your father to address the media if he gets out?
I don't know if they allow us to come out this way potentially. I know he definitely wants to thank President Trump for bringing his family back together, but I really don't know. I don't know how this whole process is going to go. I don't know where they're going to make us go. How we're going to. I don't know. Yeah, so I wish I had an answer.
Appreciate your time.
Do I know if there's a Fed for Julie's prison? What do you mean? Absolutely, TK. You know I'm not gonna miss this for the world. Oh my goodness, right? I would have a nice bubble bath too. Oh my goodness.
Good heads up. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Patty says, I haven't been to prison. I need a bubble bath. Me too. I need a bubble bath. I'm like nervous for them. Stressed out for them. I don't think I can enlarge it any bigger. Let me see. Oh, I can. Oh, I'm behind because I paused it. Dude, no wonder they were saying the cameraman is drunk. If you don't have bubbles, use a dishwashing liquid. Dawn works good. You got a call. She's going inside the gate. Oh my goodness! Now it could still be some time before she pulls out with him. It could still be, we don't know. It could be 30 minutes. She could go in there and he walk right out. Like we don't know. Oh, I haven't seen a live feed for Julie yet. They already went in. All right, let me speed this up. All right, so they went in. So Savannah's picking up her dad, and Chase went to pick up their mom. You guys remember when Mike the Situation got out of prison and they filmed him and he came out like this race, like, yes, the stitch is out. Like, honestly, I hope that Todd comes out like that. Like, I hope Todd comes by and he rolls the window down and he's like, I'm out. Like, oh my goodness. I've been watching you for a little over 3 years. I love your channel. Thank you, Miss Sandy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Associated Press is live. Are they showing any more than what this is showing, or do you know? Plug in your phones, everybody. Exactly. Okay, there they go. Somebody needs to go remove that sign right there. The sign is in the way. Yesterday, prisoners, today, free. Exactly. There's actually a song that just popped in my head due to that. There's a song that we sing in church where it talks about I was once a prisoner, but now I'm free. I don't remember the words, but that made me think of that. Emma, I hope that's, I know when they get out, their first order of business is just like acclimating to like normal life again and getting all that prison stench off of them. I really do hope they go after her for breaking that. They have a settlement. Todd Chrisley and Katie Joy from Without a Crystal Ball had a settlement agreement because he sued her, but he had bigger fish to fry because he had the government going after him. So they reached a settlement where she agreed to not talk about him, to not talk about his family. She agreed to that. She agreed to that. And then the second they go to prison, she starts running her mouth. So they don't let you dye your hair in prison or anything. Now, maybe if Savannah brought in some box dye, he might do it in the sink real quick before he walks out, but I doubt it. Wonder if Todd and Julie will bring back their podcast. I hope so. I hope they do. Oh, wow. I hope not, Kelly. I don't. AP. Okay, let me try to get that one up because I do want to see if we can get all angles. Okay, there is Savannah right there. Well, like Savannah said, she said if this was one of those things where they just called in a favor to their friend Trump, he would have did it when he first got appointed as president. He didn't. He went through the case. She talks about this. She says, like, yes, we went to him with this, but it wasn't where he was just like, okay, well, I'm going to free them because you asked and because I kind of know you a little bit and because you support me. If Trump was going to release Todd and Julie just because Savannah supports him or Todd and Julie may support them, he would have did it when he first went into office. No, instead he went over their case file, like he looked into this. So it was not one of those things of like where she just asked and he did it. No, it's not because you don't agree. It's just because of, yeah, it wasn't like they killed someone. Um, any attorney that actually looks over this can tell you that this was they were railroaded. It wasn't done as a favor. He looked into this. He had people look into this. Do we know if Julie got out? Not yet. Okay, live feed on ABC 33. All right, let me see. I'm just gonna Google. You said all right, let's see if we can get that one pulled up. It seems like they got the same thing that I'm looking at, or am I tripping? This is Fox 10 and ABC 3340 got the same thing. All right. WKYTV is live at Julie's prison. You're going to cover the Caitlin? I think so, Lori. I just haven't had time yet, but I think so. Okay, so what station is it you said? WKY. I don't see them live. Okay, I don't see them live right now. I may have looked for the wrong place. I don't know. Um, Fox 10's my local news and mobile. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you so much. Trump said he never saw the show or heard of her parents before this. Savannah told them. So Savannah said she was able to tell her parents that they were being pardoned. Yes. I think, you know, I guess anytime somebody's pardoned, you can say, politics play into this. If this was a family that was, you know, hated Trump, would he have done this for them? I don't know. But they don't hate Trump. She went to him saying, my parents this. Can you look into this? And he said, absolutely. So yeah, attacking each other for their political beliefs. Let's not do that. Everybody can have their own opinion. But my thing is like when people come in and they're like, they don't deserve to be pardoned. They committed the crime. It's like just do your research on it because it's what we all thought. Everybody thought that they committed this crime because that's what the media told us, right? Car, you need to move. everybody told us that they committed this crime, right? But if you look into the case, if you followed the trial, if you read the paperwork, if you went through the documents, you know that's not the case. You know, imagine walking into Sam's Club like any right. Are they trying to block her off? They're going to live with Savannah. I can switch back over to ABC 3340. They're zoomed out, but you still can't see Savannah. I don't even see a live from WKYT. Is it WKYT? Let me put Chris, please. There's NBC 15. Which one is this? That's Pensacola, so that's Todd. Fox, ABC. I don't see anything for Julia. I'm missing it somewhere. Alice Johnson, who was fired by Trump, her Savannah, was key in helping them look into the case. They're telling them to move the cameras across the street. I don't think they have to technically, unless they're like in the way of the road. I really don't think they have to. Well, no, because they got full immunity, Barbara. The guy that falsified the documents admitted that. He admitted all of it. He said, "Yes, it was me. Yes, I falsified the documents. I did all this." But he wouldn't admit it until he got full immunity. And then he said, "Well, I did it, but they knew about it and they co-signed on it. They were okay with me doing it." Okay, we're gonna delete this comment because you can support whoever you want. If you, but because there are some people that support that are MAGA in here, I'm sure we're not going to call those people disgusting. Just like we're not going to call anybody that supports Kamala disgusting, anybody that supports Biden disgusting. You're pointing that at people, and we're not going to do that. Believe what you want to believe, but let's not attack people. You're literally calling people disgusting. I don't care that you think that. That's fine. We're gonna ban you from here because we're not doing that. This is not even what it's about. All right, I guess we'll just stay right here. Is this what you're talking about, Bree? Yeah, we can have different opinions. Support who you want to support. I don't care. I don't tell nobody who they should support, but I'm not going to have people call other people disgusting. Whether you be, whether you love Biden, whether you love Obama, whether you love Kamala, whether you love Trump, I don't care. I'm not going to let anybody call you disgusting because you're belief. Right, a different opinion doesn't mean you have to name call, and if you feel like you do, you're the immature one, and maybe there should be some self-reflection on that. Like, wow, I'm in this chat where everybody's getting along, And I'm gonna come in and call people disgusting. Maybe you're the problem. Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I be going to the trenches for y'all. Staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, then getting up and trying to do schoolwork for an hour. It's been y'all, this world has been reality TV world's been a lot lately, a lot. They were not even allowed to speak to each other, and what's crazy is they were told they would be able to speak to each other, that they would, allow that. Oh, thank you, Jerry Ann. Also, yesterday, B gifted 5 memberships. Jerry Ann just gifted a membership. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate y'all so, 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 so much. Thank you, Blue. Okay, so where are they going? Anybody know? Exactly. This stream is about the Chrisleys getting out of prison. Being pardoned is not about politics, it's about prison reform. Yeah. And it's like, how are we going to have somebody put in prison for 12 years when Josh Duggar, who was downloading child, you know, images of children being tormented, beaten. One of those kids was 18 months old. Josh Duggar got the same sentence that Todd Chrisley got. How is that justice? Y'all, can we get those likes up? We have over 1,000 people in here and we only have 140 likes. You guys do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, please. I know this was not justice, exactly. Oh, yes, Sassy. So I covered Josh Duggar's trial. I was at his bond hearing. Well, I sat through, it was a Zoom. The Zoom was a bond. The bond hearing was through Zoom. I sat through that. It was an all-day affair where the Homeland Security guy that testified said the content that was on Josh Duggar's computer was the worst of the worst. He said, "I've been doing this for 10 years and I've never seen content that bad." He had downloaded something called Daisy's Destruction, which is the worst of the worst. It has a 12-year-old, I think a 13-year-old, and an 18-month-old that was being SA'd, tortured, and one of them actually ended up passing. One of the girls ended up passing. I was at Josh Duggar's sentencing where he was sentenced to 12 years. And I remember sitting there, everybody that I was sitting with, uh, actual journalists, other YouTubers, actual journalists, a TikToker, a lawyer that's a TikToker that went, uh, I remember thinking like, oh, he's going to get like 20 years for sure. He's going to get like 20 years, right? I remember when they said they did it by months. They were like 150, I think it was 151 months. We're all like, what is that? What is that? What is 151 months? What is it? And then Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's former friend, Bobby, leaned up and said, "That's 12 years." We're like, "What? He only got 12 years?" I mean, granted, he did not physically touch. One of his sisters wrote a statement. One of Josh Duggar's sisters wrote a statement. She said something along the lines of, "I know he did not physically touch anyone, but every time he played a video, every time he watched a video of a minor in that manner, he hurt them. He brought more trauma to them." Like every time he played a video of them going through that yes, he hurt them. They were a victim. So, yeah, the guy from yeah, and that he the guy from, 7th Heaven, he played a preacher, and meanwhile, he was addicted to child yeah. This is what I love, Tanya. While I'm not a Trump fan, I fully agree with this. I'm over here waving my welcome home flag. That's what I am. I'm like, Trump fan or not, like, if you've looked into this case, if you follow the Chrisleys, like, how can you not be happy about this? Plus, Josh had all those minors around him. He, what he did to his sisters was covered up. I agree, Roxy. I don't think Josh can be rehabilitated. I mean, maybe God, that's going to be the only thing. If anything could do it, God, but nothing else. I know KJ is stressing. Well, she's painting herself the victim again. Yes, that did come out, Sweet Pea. It did. Anything new on Pumpkin? I know the new season was canceled this week. Wait, of Mama June? It hasn't been canceled. It's still set to come out soon. Are you going to stay live? They are released. I have commute home 30 minutes right now, and I don't want to miss it. Yes, this will stay up no matter what. Now, I may have to weed through some of the content if those networks get me for like copyright. I may have to, maybe cut some things out, but I will try to be sure to leave in where they are getting in the car leaving. Yeah, the new season of Mama June comes out soon. It's going to be coming out Friday, like 8 p.m. They have not been canceled. However, yesterday, while I was talking about Todd and Julie Chrisley, while I was live covering them being pardoned, Pumpkin's mistress did a TikTok live where she exposed it all. She exposed about how she was at a party and, this whole time Pumpkin's telling her that her and Josh are split up and that they're going to be together. She wants to be with her, and she gets a hold of Pumpkin's phone somehow and goes into the deleted messages and sees that Pumpkin had deleted like 2,000 messages between her and Josh where they were, I love you, I miss you, can't wait for you to get home. Meanwhile, she's like, I'm in a whole relationship with her, and she's letting me believe that her and Josh are split up. There's a lot of we got 1,200 people in here, so a lot of people don't know who Katie Joy is. Katie Joy is a YouTuber without a crystal ball, who covers Todd Chrisley, who years ago, before Todd was indicted on these bank fraud tax charges, this creator covered them, and she would make comments about him being, gay, like, oh, he's a closeted, she would say all these things. When is his wife going to realize? Like, make really nasty comments, speculating about his sexuality, whatever. She become friends with Todd's daughter, Lindsay. And Katie would go live on Instagram being like, don't you mess with my best friend. If you try to hurt my best friend, I'm gonna like, I will not allow you to hurt my best friend. It was, I don't know, it was just very weird. But she put out a lot about the Chrisleys that was not true. They filed a lawsuit against her. They were in the middle of this lawsuit for defamation. However, everything really popped, like the trial was about to start. So Todd and Julie, who is that? Who is that? Todd and Julie reached a settlement with Katie that they would drop their lawsuit against Katie if she stopped talking about their family. And she agreed. That is like the third lawsuit that Katie entered into a settlement with, that she agreed, okay, I'll stop talking about y'all if y'all don't continue to sue me. So she entered into this settlement agreement that she would not continue talking about the Chrisleys. However, the second they went into prison, she started talking about them again. She started posting a lot of, and if you go to Reddit and just look up Without a Crystal Ball, you'll see, I mean, she's a very problematic YouTuber, very problematic, and she's got set, and she never holds to, like I said, she's gotten sued several times. She's in the middle of like 2 lawsuits right now. Is it 2? But she's entered into these agreements several times and then backs out of them. Like she after a little while, she starts talking again. Tati Westbrook, who is a beauty guru, she was sued by Tati, and she entered into a settlement agreement with Tati. I know 62 is like, "What are you talking about? KJ won that lawsuit." That's what she always says. She always says she won them. That's another thing. When she when the lawsuits are dropped because she settled, she tells people she won. She's like, "I won that lawsuit." You literally agreed to not talk about them anymore. Now, if you would've settled and you would've, like, gotten a settlement check, then I could then, like, okay, you won, I guess, like, maybe, but you literally conceded to them. You said, "I will no longer speak about you." If you were so strong and if you had faith in what you were saying, if you knew that what you were saying about them on your YouTube channel was accurate, that's what I've always said. Like, I've had a couple people threaten to sue me, like Mama June, like, "I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you for defamation," and it's like, I'm strong in what I say. Like, everything that I say is either my opinions or I got facts for it. I have a way to back it up. Like, no, no, I will take your lawsuit and I will countersue. So, yes, Jessica, they are supposed to be, and she gave up her source. So when Tati sued her, Katie started covering Tati way back in, like, 2018, saying that Tati was selling snake oil, saying that Tati her dad was a part of the mafia, saying that Tati's husband killed his mom for inheritance. I mean, she made all kind of claims about Tati. Obviously, it catches Tati's attention because Tati is this huge YouTuber. Tati has, like, millions of followers, one of the biggest beauty influencers on YouTube. So, why did they just redirect why did they just redirect? So whenever they, I don't know, because she was, like, bashing Tati so much, Tati had a business partner that really started, like, messing her over. This business partner started screwing Tati over. The business partner went to Katie and gave Katie all this information that was not true. Well, Katie ran with it. She would go live saying she heard this, she heard that, she got these facts, she's got that fact, she knows this, she knows that. Well, then Tati sued Katie. They ended up Tati said, "If you tell me who your source is that's giving you all these lies that you're posting on your YouTube channel, and you agree to not talk about me anymore, we will drop the lawsuit." So Tati did. So she did. Katie outed her source. And Katie is now going to testify. Katie is set to testify on behalf of Tati, the same person that she bashed for years, the same person that she said was a horrible person, the same person that she made all these wild claims against. So right now we're watching for Todd to be released, guys. James Charles warned Katie, and Katie still continued. And then James Charles, like, messaged Katie and was like, "Hey, you really need to, like, chill out. Like, they're talking about suing you. Like, I would stop if I was you." She then posted what James Charles messaged her. It was like, "James Charles is trying to manipulate me." Like, no, she was trying to warn you. Not that not that I like James Charles. He's got issues. But he was really trying to warn her. Like, they're literally talking about suing. I don't think Julie's been released yet. A million people warned Katie, and she just keeps pushing until things snap. And honestly, I can name so many YouTubers that she's gotten into it with. Dustin Daly, Nick, the viewer's voice, Nick, the viewer's voice, yeah, Nick, what's his last name? I love him. I can't remember. Preacher Boy. Oh my god, there's a list, and there's like over 60 people. There's like over 60 creators. Nick Snyder, over 60 creators on YouTube that she has like messed over. Yes, a loving grace. Her name is Casey, and I have the live. I actually recorded it. I just have to edit it. I just have it recorded right now. I have 9 minutes and then 35 minutes and then 7 minutes. So I have like an hour. Yeah, she does some pretty. She like looked up my finances and then went live on Instagram and talked about my finances. There was speculation that when I was arrested, that somebody called in. I'm not saying it's her. I'm just saying we don't know who else it would have been. And even when I sued the police department, it was like question like somebody must have called in on you. It doesn't make sense why 4 officers were like following you and like pulled you over thinking you had drugs in your car, you know? But yes, Pumpkin, Shannon from Mama June, she is with Josh's cousin now. However, when Pumpkin was still with Josh, she apparently was cheating on Josh with a girl named Casey. Yes, her and Sherelle had issues as well. Yep. Sherelle's World sure did. Trina says she's here for Todd and Julie, not Savannah. That's your choice. Yeah, I mean, be here for whoever you want to be with. A lot of people thought that, Emma. As somebody that's never been in trouble, never been arrested, I leave my house. Mind you, like 2 weeks prior, she pulled up my information, so she knew what kind of car I drove. She knew the year, make, and model. She knew where I lived. Like 2 weeks earlier, she pulled up all this information and went live with it. And then I get pulled over by 4 cops pointing guns at me, asking me where the drugs are. And she knew. Somehow Katie knew very quickly. So, you know. I know, I agree, Lisa. Doxing is never okay. Who is KJ? TK, you don't know who KJ is? Because I know you are on my channel a good bit. We try not to talk about her. I usually call her the unspoken one. But she's another YouTuber that just has a lot of problems with everybody. She's been sued by the Chrisleys. And now that they're getting out, now that the Chrisleys are getting out, she's playing victim like, I'm so scared. I remember you mentioning the unspoken one. Now I get it. Yeah. I went to jail. I spent the night in jail. No, you didn't miss it. So I had 4 officers pull me over 3 miles from my home, pulled guns on me, cuffed me, threw me down on the ground, yelling at me, "Where's the drug? Do you have drugs? Where's the drugs?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have drugs. What do you mean?" I'm like, this is how stupid I was. I'm like, "I'm a mama. I don't have drugs." You know, because moms apparently, but it just, when you're a mom of 6 and your life is your kids and you don't do drugs and you've never done drugs and, like, and you just your world revolves around your children and you don't do anything else. It was just like it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, "I'm a mom. I don't do drugs." And so they tore my car apart, searching my car, and they found a bag that it once had chalk in it. It had kids' chalk, sidewalk chalk. So it had, like, the residue from that chalk. Yes, she was, Nanya. Destiny said, "Because of her story, I do not keep chalk in my car." And there's a lot of things you probably shouldn't keep in your car because once that happened to me, I started doing research, and there's a lot of things that people have gotten arrested for. Donut glaze. One guy, every morning on his way to work, he would get a Krispy Kreme donut and donut glaze had fell in his seat, and he got pulled over, and they said it was like crack. It was, and he got arrested. He went to jail, and he worked for the church, and he lost his job. So, anyways, they did one of those roadside test kits on the nothing that was in the bag because it was literally an empty bag where chalk once had been. So there was residue. And, they stuck their knife in there, scraped every little bit that they could get, and they stuck it in one of those. Uh, I don't remember what they're called. I used to know the name of them. These roadside test kits are like $2, $2, right? And they're very inaccurate. If you research them, they are inaccurate. They can be wrong a lot. Okay, I actually watched this video where they were in like a lab, and this guy put chocolate in one and it came back as like heroin or something. He put sugar in one and it came back as cocaine. They put crunched up Tylenol in one and it came back as like opioids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these things can be. There was one where they didn't even put anything in it. They opened it. They just opened it and it showed up as drugs. So, yeah. It's just, these things are very inaccurate, and they have messed with a lot of people's lives. So when they tested the chalk in the bag, they said that it was cocaine. They said that it tested positive for cocaine. Okay, what's happening? And I was arrested. I went to jail, and I was booked, never been arrested, still haven't been arrested since, but I went to jail, spent the night in jail. I was strip searched, and it was a yeah, it was a whole experience. My husband did not know where I was. The whole like from the time I left to the time that I was actually able to call him, like 6 hours had passed. So he was calling my phone and I was not allowed to answer. Um, so I finally called him and he's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Hey." And he's like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "I'm in jail." He's like, "What? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "They said they found cocaine in my car." And he was like, "No way. There's no way they found cocaine in your car." And I'm like, "That's what I said." So um, I got out the next morning. The judge that set my bond was like, told my mom, "Your daughter clearly has an issue." And my mom's like, "No, she doesn't." No. My mom's like, "No, she doesn't." And he's like, "Well, does her husband?" And my mom's like, "No, they don't. Like, neither one of them do." And he's like, "Well, somebody in that house has a problem, and you need to get to the bottom of it and figure it out." My bond was $5,000. Mind you, I've never been in trouble in my life. Never, no one, like, never been arrested, nothing. My bond was $5,000. My car had gotten towed. So I got out, and that other creator, Katie Joy, knew very quickly and put it up all over the internet that I was, on drugs and that, like it just put it all over the internet that I had been arrested for drugs. And it was sad because I couldn't really respond to anything because I didn't know what to say. I knew people were not gonna believe me. They said they chased me. They said they chased me for 5 miles. I was 3 miles from my house. I just didn't see them initially. I drove a Yukon with, like, blacked out windows, which, yeah, my windows were illegal, so I will tell you that. Who told the co exactly, boss. I don't know who told the drugs that. I don't know who told the cops that I had drugs in my car, but that was, like, one of the first things that they said, outside of, like, "Why didn't you stop?" Then it was like, "Where are the drugs?" And it's like, "What do you mean?" Um, I had fingernail powder for acrylic fingernails. They tested it and tried to tell me it came back as positive for a substance. I bet it did. Did they send me to chalk rehab? No, praise God. But they didn't have to because we don't allow chalk in this house anymore. Chalk is like forbidden. Um, your story showed me how this can happen and how it can happen to you. It can, I'm telling you, it can happen to anybody. It's just so wild. All right, they're on the move. So Yeah, I knew nobody was gonna believe me because I was charged with flight, like running from the police, and then Schedule II. So it looked like I ran because I had drugs. That's the way that it appeared from anybody on the outside looking in. But I didn't run. They lied and said they chased me for 5 miles. I was 3 miles from my home. Um, so I just didn't address it at first, and then the charges were dropped. I got out on a Sunday. That Monday, I called Any Labs and scheduled a hair follicle test. I was like, I'm getting a hair follicle test done. That way when I go to court, I can show them that I don't do drugs. So I called that Monday. They said, come in Friday. So I went that Friday. I did a hair follicle drug test and passed it. I posted it online to show people, like, hey, here it is. I don't do drugs. And then people said, KJ said that I probably sent in my daughter's hair. She went live and was like, she sent in her daughter's hair probably. Like, girl, they don't let you send in hair to do a drug test at for a hair follicle. You just can't send it in the mail. Yes, it was chalk. It turned out to be chalk. Savannah's going in to get her dad. So, yeah, I did the hair follicle test, put it up. The They sent the drug test off to the lab, and it came back that it wasn't drugs. And yeah, it was all dropped. I sued the police department. I got a settlement from the sheriff's department and it was 2 departments because there were multiple. It was like the city police and the sheriff's department. Both I sued both of them because they were both there, and I got a settlement. And then the only thing that I did not like is my whole plan was like, after this happens, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna put my whole story out there, every detail. I'm gonna, advocate for people. I'm gonna make sure those drug tests cannot be used. I don't think those drug tests should be used. They, mess with people. I want a public apology. It was all of this. But when I signed my settlement, a part of that settlement was there were certain things they did not want me talking about. I could never name who exactly I sued. Like, I could say I sued the police department and the sheriff's department, but I can't say the name of them. Like, I can't say, you know, the exact departments that I sued, like, Natchitoches Parish Sheriff's Department, like, I can't say I sued them. Um, so there's certain things that I can't say, and that bothered me. I can't, like, say the names of the officers, although I did early on, before we reached the settlement, I actually did mention one of the officers by name, but so, yeah. And a part of me is still like, that is something I should still do, is I should maybe talk to our sheriff about those kids and how wrong they can be. Well, Sean didn't sign the settlement, so he can say whatever he wants, I would assume. I will say, when I did go live after the lawsuit was completed, I went live and I told my story to the as much as I could. But it is long because I'm on a live like this, I'm answering questions. It was not, like, straight to the point telling my whole story in continuity. It was like, tell a part of it, read a comment, tell a part of it, read a comment. So I did have a lot of people that watched it and was like, "Oh my goodness, could you just get to the point? You keep stopping and answering questions." 2019. And what's so crazy is my nephew had just died. My nephew had just died. It was so bad. Where's he at? I wanna speak to him. Yeah, my nephew passed away, and you wanna know something else, Katie? Like, posted about my nephew passing. Like, we're in the hospital up there spending our last few hours with him before the coroner comes and gets him, and Katie's, like, posting about my nephew died. Mind you, like, she hates me, I mean, it's just it was a lot. It was a lot. Oh, thank you, Bambi. I just saw a picture of your baby girl that you posted on Facebook. Maybe yesterday, I think. I saw a picture of your baby girl. She's gotten so big. Oh, thank you, country girl Brenda. I know who you are. I'm listening from the bushes like usual. I was around for all of it. My heart still breaks for your sister and your family. Thank you, bitter. I thought it said bitter bill, but it's bitter pill to swallow. Thank you. It was definitely a dark time. It was definitely a dark time. Yeah. No, no updates. My aunt is just kind of at the place where she's just like, I guess let it be. You know, she's like, do I want to know what happened to him? Yeah, but I also don't know if I want to know what happened to him. Oh yeah, Destiny, she does. Yep, exactly. Now I also lost my channel for 3 months because Katie was telling people that I was like bashing her and that I was trying to like take her down. So she made a community post instructing people to report me. And like later that day, my channel went down. So my nephew passed. Well, my channel went down. Then my nephew passed. Then I was arrested. And in between my nephew passing and my arrest, she talked about my finances and said that I was about to lose my car, that I was in bankruptcy, I was about to lose my car, that I wasn't paying my bills. So, yeah, that's why I normally don't go this much in depth about her just because there's so much trauma there. um, but, you know, I did, Lori. It's right there. There's my plaque right there. It's right there. Savannah has gone in, yes. Oh yeah, I definitely think it's gonna take some time for them to I still have screenshots from way back in the day. I kept them for the longest. I actually kept those screenshots for the longest. I know exactly what screenshots we're talking about. You know, that's what I just keep saying. I just leave it up to God. I'm not gonna try to take this woman down. You know. Riff Raff says I've never watched, but I've heard bad things. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Savannah has been escorted to the back where the release happened. So it should be happening soon, I would assume. Because they don't even come get you to bring you back until they're like almost ready. I think I finally ended up deleting them. Yep. Exactly. That's their revenge is. So are they driving home? I figure they're gonna drive home, I would assume. Don't you know Todd is so excited to just like embrace Julie? I've been subbed to Elle since 2018. She's exactly who she says she is. She's a good person. Thank you. And you have, Missy. You have been with me from the beginning. A lot of you guys have. So I appreciate y'all. I haven't, Brandy. I haven't seen that yet. I'm just so behind with everything. Y'all trying to keep, doing content and going through like school right now. I call it school. It's my body language course. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I wonder if that's them bringing Todd in that car. I don't know. I tried watching Katie's channel, but I couldn't do it because she flat out lied sometimes. Yes, Julia's getting out today too. I just hope we get a glimpse of Todd, like, I'm sure he's gonna wanna be like, "Don't let nobody see me," but I just can we get a wave? Can we get a something? I'll be in the shower for 8 hours. Maybe he'll stop and do, like, a little, "Thank you guys for supporting me." That would be awesome. That would be so cool. Yeah. Yeah, there were snakes in the prison, no air, I mean, man, you can't be putting commercials in the middle of this like this, come on. I wonder if that's them. Is that them? Is that them? I don't know. I don't they're zooming in on them like it's like that's them. I don't know. Is it? I think so. That's them. Please slow down, slow down. Was that them? There's no way. There's no way they just flew by like that and that was them. Okay, good. I'm like, no, so anticlimactic. What anticlimac anti climactic. Am I saying that right? They're a Toyota. Decoy. I know, right? I was like, "Here they come, here they come." Anticlimac why can't I say anticlimactic climactic? I think I did say it right. I don't know. Shaving my legs, red wide. No one can see. Oh, I know because they zoomed in on them like they were them. Go, go, go. Don't let me see you. I got gray hair. They can't see me like this. They can't see me like this. We wanna see you like this, Todd. We don't care. We don't care. Like I said, I don't care if his cheeks are drooping to his knees. Go get that Botox later. We wanna see. I would too, Rubens. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't want nobody to see me. I wouldn't. Maybe they got a hat for me. Exactly. You might not care. Hey, some guys look good with gray hair. I love my man with his gray hair. Sean's got grays like in his beard, and I love it. Like I'm here for it. Sean's got like reddish, gray, brown, and I just love it. Thank you, Copper Top. I'm hoping you staying with me, being the one with integrity. I hope. Thank you. We want to see the reunion. Yes. Maybe Savannah brought him a hat to wear. Can you just imagine, like, him on the phone with Savannah, like, "Make sure you bring this, make sure you give me a good outfit." Like, I feel like I can hear him, you know? Oh, paparazzi's everywhere. No, Chloe stayed home. Chloe stayed home. They've been locked up 2 years. They went in January 17th, 2023. You know, I'm not a super emotional person, like, I watch all these shows and I get invested, but, like, it takes a lot for something to make me cry. Like, it takes a lot. But this, when I found out they were oh my goodness, my heart exploded almost. I, like, ran in the house and told my husband, like, they've been partying, like, oh my god, and my husband is huge fans of them as well, so he was super happy about it as well. I'm sure Todd's gonna be like, "Now let's get the hell out of here." You know? It takes a lot, you know, when it comes to my kids, I probably cry the easiest, but they haven't left yet, we're waiting for them to leave now. This ain't them, is it? Was that them or no? I've been searching everywhere. I know, like, what is up? Like, they're letting me down for Julie. Because if they had something with Julie being released, I would have that up as well, and we just flip back and forth. They doing Julie dirty. Next season of Love, I feel like it. You guys make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button if y'all don't mind. Julie Chrisley. Thank you, Gail. Alright. Julie Chrisley. Chase is picking up Julie. Yeah, it seems like everybody is waiting for Todd. She has been partying too, yes. What do you think they're gonna wanna eat when they get out? Like the first see, Stargazer, I can't find that. I can't find that. On YouTube? Like it what do I need to type in on YouTube for that? Why does that look like my son up there? When Savannah talked in front of the cameras earlier, didn't you say Chase was going to get their mom? What did they say? Grayson or okay, Grayson. You're probably right, Shannon. Okay, she said Chase is home. Okay. I guess I got him and Grayson confused. Going to the bathroom alone would be big. Yep. You know what, Misty, yes. So one thing that I thought was interesting is that so many people saying like, "Oh, this shows you that, like, money talks, they're getting out of prison because of the money." Savannah said that Todd and Julie were not the only 2 that got a pardon, that 10 to 15 other prisoners also got pardoned yesterday, and they were gonna be getting out of prison as well. So it wasn't just Todd and Julie. Okay, is this them? Cameraman, don't mess up now. Don't mess up now, cameraman. Who is this? This ain't none of the vehicles we saw going in with them, so they're just zooming in on everybody. I agree, Lamont. That's how we feel over here on this channel too. Did somebody just say Gabby Petito? I'm trying to see if there's anything with Julie. Okay, no, that's not it. I swear that boy over there in the blue shirt looks like my son, kind of, perm, when my son's perm grew out. Look at those people. I wonder how far away that is from where I'm at. I should have went. Just jumped in my car last night and took off. Todd ain't gonna be in no little Ford Focus. I know, right? I just looked both of them up online and they are still listed as in custody. Well, darn. I wonder how long it takes for that to update. I'm thirsty. I've been to prison and it's a long process to release an inmate, but I think that they do that on purpose. Well, I'm like, how long did it take to release me? I'm like, I wish I would have asked my mom how long it takes to release somebody because my mom um, worked at a jail as a guard and she did intake and out sin. Um, but heck, I've been booked and released. Okay, the prison won't update their system until after midnight. I had coffee, I have orange juice, and I've done drank both of those, and now I gotta drink the water. Well, Savannah said her dad at first thought it was a joke. Her dad was like, "No, you're lying," you know? If they would have already left, cameras probably would have been taken down. Let me call my mama real quick. I'm gonna call my mama and ask. Trump did pardon them. Hey, what are you doing? You went seen the baby today? Are they being released today? Okay. Me and Sean was gonna go, but I guess maybe we're gonna go tomorrow. Okay, I have a question. How long does it take to release an inmate? Like, from the time you find out, okay, they're getting out, do all the paperwork, they're out the door? Because I'm on a live right now, we're waiting for the Chrisleys to get out of prison, you know, Trump pardoned them, and so we're all okay. Let me repeat all this. Okay, so my mom says in the state of Louisiana, you're released at a certain time, like, prisoners are released at a certain time, usually like 12:01, That's if they know they're gonna be released, like, their release date is this date. It's at 12:01 usually, but a pardon, she's like, it's something completely different. She's not sure, essentially. She's really not, because she did bail bondsman, you did ORs, bail bonds. So she said every state's guidelines are different from how they handle things. But she, as a correctional officer, she did releases, but they were, she, I mean, you never dealt with a pardon because you worked at like a county jail. So, okay. So my mama don't know for sure. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna jump back on this. I'll call you in a little bit. All right. Love you. Bye. Okay. Let me. Okay. So they're saying he's been released and Savannah's waiting for him. They're not at the same facility. They are at different facilities in different states, no less. So he's in Florida. She's in Kentucky. He's released. No. I know this is like selfish of me to want to see him right now. Like, he's just getting out of prison. I didn't want nobody to see me getting out of jail, and I only spent 1 day in jail. I spent 1 day in jail, and I didn't even want my husband to see me. Like, I knew I looked rugged. I was a mess. I cried all night. Like, so I'm sure he doesn't want anybody to see him, but I really want, like, I want to see. I hope if he doesn't, and I'm sure he's not going to let us release see him today. I hope we get to see him soon. I hope very soon we get to see him. Thank you, Lisa, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you. To have a daughter like Savannah who she did not stop. She fought for her parents. She fought for them. Absolutely. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now. I think you're supposed to be like, they can't push it off to like, okay, you're getting out today. Well, you get out at this time, you get out at that time. I think with a pardon, it's like it doesn't get put off, but as soon as the paperwork is done, you get to go. And I do think, you still got to do the paperwork, so it is going to take a little time. Like, the president signs the paperwork, he sends the paperwork over. Thank you, it's me, Donna, for the super stickers. Thank you guys so much for the super chats and super stickers. I appreciate it so much. And that's another thing is, he was sentenced to 12 years. Would Nanny Faye still be here by the time he would have gotten out? Had this not have happened? We don't know. But I don't think they can actually start the process of their paperwork until they get the pardon from Trump. Like until they get the paperwork saying they have officially been pardoned, I don't think I don't. So they're saying Savannah has not left. Like Todd may be officially released, but Savannah Trying to hear them. I was gonna say there's paperwork you have to sign, but that's if you're out on like a bond. Let me see what TMZ is reporting. How do they know for sure that he's been released for sure? 411. So they said Todd Chrisley is officially out of federal prison. The Federal Bureau of Prisons tells TMZ Todd was released from federal prison camp in Pensacola on Wednesday evening. His daughter Savannah gave a press conference hours before he was freed. Todd, Todd was convicted. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it went down from 30 million to 17 million, I guess. I think okay. So it seems like the way TMZ knows this is because they've been in contact with someone at the prison to say yes, he's been released, but he has not left those grounds yet. I don't think she went out the back gate. I would assume they'd have cameras back there waiting too, just in case. I don't now. I have no idea about federal prisons, but the jail was at that I was at didn't have a back entrance. I'm sure some I'm sure some probably do. What did KJ say today? She said it yesterday, and she said when news broke about the pardon, she said, "While I appreciate many of you reaching out about the pardon, asking me, a victim of Todd Chrisley's malicious attacks and smear campaign, to further report on the situation or to answer questions is insensitive. This man accused me of child abuse and recommended people report me to the authorities. He intimidated and threatened me for 3 years. His release gives me great anxiety and causes me fear for my safety." Like, who's really going to be scared of Todd Chrisley? Like, safe wise, like, like you're scared for your safety. You think Todd Chrisley's going to come beat you up? Is that what you're saying? You're scared for your safety? I might be scared of his mouth. I might be like, oh crap, Todd Chrisley about to like run his mouth about me, but like I would not be scared that he's gonna come beat me up. Like, come on. Underground? That would be wild if it had some sort of underground. That'd be cool. She said that. It was posted on her thing. Yes. I think his paperwork has been completed apparently, but I don't think he's left. She's scared because she didn't comply with court orders. Exactly. By the time I found out they were getting out, I would have never mentioned their name again. I'd be like, please, Lord, I didn't think they were going to get out for another 10 years. So I talked about them, even though I agreed not to. I talked about them. I'm not going to say another word, Lord. That way they don't sue the socks off me when they get out. They said on Wear Channel 3 that he has been
Receive up to
processed.
$6,000 annually. National University's Believe and Succeed
I think that's what
Scholarship
we're watching.
can help make your bachelor.
Okay, let me see. Somebody said I'm losing my mind out here. They're questioning it now. They're like, "Is there back?" I can't imagine they would, like, duck out like that, though. Mhm. Yeah. Well, I would still if I was there, just because I'm reading he's been released does not I would still wait until somebody said he is off prison grounds, because that is a little different between saying, he's been released, like, he may be changing, he may be I know one time I had to pick somebody up from jail, um, they brought him out to us outside and we sat there for a minute. Like, we didn't immediately leave, we sat there for a minute. I don't even remember why we sat there for a minute. So I don't know, but, I don't know. Maybe he's changing, like, maybe he's officially, like, technically released. That reporter said she reached out to, like, her family contact to see if she could find out. It shows released as soon as someone leaves jail, but changing out and getting paperwork done. I just got told he was going to stop and talk and thank everyone. Who told you that? Do you have some sort of inside source? Let me know. Sorry, Kaiser. Savannah's not made any posts on any of her social medias yet, so yes, they are filming this for their show. Hmm, that's that's interesting. Yeah, they're filming both. It was on her Instagram yesterday, guys. Look. Look. Oh, that's another one. Brian Enton actually went through the gates and was over there talking to Savannah when she was over there at the building. He was over there with her. Todd Chrisley was released from federal prison in Pensacola a short time ago. Somebody said, "Why is everyone still alive?" Yeah, release just means like he's no longer like he can walk off with Savannah. He may still be in the car doing something. He may not be. They may not have driven out yet. I don't know. TMZ is reporting that he's gone. I can't imagine they just leave everybody out there waiting, knowing that they are wanting to watch them leave. What? They went out the back gate. I keep going to WKYT and I don't see anything. Are you talking on YouTube? I don't see anything live for them. I've seen nothing on WKYT. I've seen that in the chat several times. Let me see if there's a back gate. There's two gates. A main gate, which is referred to as the CID main gate. The prison has a minimum security facility located on Softway Field. So it does have, yes, it has two gates. Yep. Yeah, he definitely wasn't released 4 hours ago. I mean, he was just released. Savannah only went in an hour ago. I'm watching Fox. I got Fox News pulled up on mine as well.
He may have been looking a little haggard.
Right. I mean, I get it. I get it.
But it could have also been like
But just let us
a great, yeah, right?
Right. It's hot as hell. We haven't had access to a restroom or anything.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're all dehydrated as heck.
Well, it's definitely not a secret exit. There is a back gate, though. Let's see. I'm so sad that he was not, like, he didn't just give us a wave. Like, what? I didn't think the prison would want spectators and media standing outside with the cameras if Todd had already left. I feel like someone would have come and told them. You know, they may give it a few minutes, you know, so people can't like catch up to him or something. I don't know. I'm so sad over this. If anybody knows if they're streaming Julie's, please let me know where and we'll jump over to that one. But I think Todd wants Julie to lay eyes on him before the rest of us do. I'm so glad that he is out. So glad that he's out. I was really hoping that we get a glimpse of him. We all missed it, Little Red. We all missed it. So here's Without a Crystal Ball's post. Oh, sorry. Like, it's on her Instagram. I've seen the news that Trump intends to pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley because I have no say in what Trump does and can't control the outcome. I'm not going to comment other than say that is a decision by the president that I do not agree with in any capacity. And I'm sure the U.S. attorneys and victims of the Chrisleys would agree with me. Literally, the victims is allegedly like, you know, they allegedly stole from banks. The banks literally, they love Todd and Julie. So, all right, let's see. He did not want paparazzi snapping pictures of him. I know that's right. All right, let's go to Savannah's page and see if anything. You guys said Chase made a post, so let's check that out really quickly. All right. Officially out of prison. Officially out of prison. He did post that. It wasn't his own post, you know.
Because your parents are going to be free and clean, and I hope we can do it by tomorrow. Is that okay? We'll try getting it done tomorrow. So wonderful. Give them, I don't know them, but give them my regards and wish them a good life.
Mr. President.
Yes. How are you?
I just want to say thank you for bringing my parents back.
Yeah.
This makes me cry.
They were given a pretty harsh treatment based on what I'm hearing. Pretty harsh treatment.
Yes, sir.
Was your brother fighting also for this release, right?
Hey, I go to the University of Alabama, and I saw you speak, and I said, that's the greatest presidential speech I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, that's good. I was just there. I gave the commencement. What a great group of people. If you were in the audience, you have to be good. What a good school it was, and I love Alabama. You know, I love Alabama. It's
okay, so I just have to say, Kieran, Chase, Grayson get on the phone and say, Mr. President. Girl, I didn't miss it. We all did. We all missed it. He snuck out the back. But Kieran, Grayson get on the phone and say, thank you for bringing my family back together. Or thank you for bringing my parents, whatever he said. You could tell his voice was cracking, so it sounded like he was crying. This is what I use for my eyeshadow. Somebody just asked. This is Laura Geller. I use this color for the shimmer right through here. Shimmer is this color. And then I use Ciate London. Grayson is picking, yes. And I use this brown color right there. So that's what I use. It's different ones. I'm an elevator to Tuscaloosa. My daughter graduated from me. There is some girl that I follow on Facebook and she sings this, and she's from Alabama. She goes to all the games, and she sings this song, and it's like, we bleed red. I love when we hold the four above our head. What is that? Do you know what I'm talking about? I love Alabama. I can't sing. I love crimson red. Hold four above our head. I cannot sing, but I don't remember. It's such a good song. I love it. It gets stuck in my head all the time. Let me look her up. Allie Leanne is her name. And let's see. I follow her on Facebook. And that song got stuck in my head. I was literally like walking all over my house, like singing those lyrics. Yeah, I think they said they're on the way home. TMZ reported Julie has not been released as of yet. Allie Leanne. Julie's not out yet from what they're saying. I know. I definitely wanted to see him leave. And I'm mad that they don't have, people over there watching for Julie. So this is her. She's a country music artist, and she's from Alabama, and she has really good music. I like her. Julie has been released. She's no longer on VineLink. Really? So she's no longer showing up in the system? There it is. She's got a lot of good music anyways, if you guys wanna look her up. Okay, yes. If it says she's no longer on the roster, then she's out. Julie's been released according to the website. They're both out. Bureau of Prisons just haven't updated their page. Let's go see what everybody's reporting. Let's check out TMZ. I know, why is nothing straightforward? So they planted a fake Savannah? No, that was real Savannah. So Savannah, when she was out there talking to them, that was her. She went in, she grabbed Todd, snuck out the back, and she's been out the back for a second. Yeah, Julie's definitely getting out. Julie is getting out. Grayson is going to get her. So they're just waiting. He's probably there. Here's Grayson. I can't play that. Oh, I went to the wrong side. I know, we're definitely all bummed that we didn't get to see him, but so who else made posts? Okay, Brian Intonez. Let's see what the comments on it, see if he's responded to any of them. Somebody said, so against this, I pay my taxes. Somebody on Brian Inton's page said, so against this, I pay my taxes. I bet you the Chrisleys have paid way more than you have. Trump helping wealthy white elites yet again. Hate that people can't see this for what it is, but he's out and heading home. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Todd and his daughter Savannah are already on their way home to Nashville. So I kind of hate to get off already. Somebody's talking. Oh my goodness, hold on.
He's currently on his way to Nashville. Now, we're still hanging out here for a little bit, working to get all of that confirmed. We haven't seen him or his daughter, Savannah, who came out here to pick him up earlier today. We haven't seen them come out of this gate. But again, we were told that they left out of the back gate roughly an hour ago. So we'll stay out here for a little while longer while we work to get that confirmed, but didn't want to come on and give you that bit of news. That's where things stand right now.
Did y'all hear that? Because I have so many outlets up, I couldn't figure out which one was talking. So I'm like, who's talking? Who's talking? And if I don't have it up on your side, you guys can hear it. But I could hear it where they were saying it's been reported that he left out of a back gate about an hour ago. Anyway, so I guess that's it. Definitely going to be keeping an eye out for Todd and Julie to show us their faces because I am here for it. I can't wait. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me today and waiting. The wait that did not pay off. I do apologize. Really thought, and Savannah did come and she did talk and she told us how she found out. She told us she was able to tell her family, but she did not, unfortunately, bring him out to the front. So was it any different than all those people gave to the boy who stabbed the other boy and raised enough for the brand new home and car? Yes, White loves the Chrisleys. I don't know what you're talking about. A boy stabbed another boy, raised enough money for a brand new home and car. If somebody stabbed somebody and they should go to jail. Like, that's the thing is like when you're talking about somebody who stabbed somebody versus somebody who was accused of money crimes, tax crimes, that's a lot different. That's a lot different. I would always, if somebody stabbed somebody, they obviously deserve to go to jail. What's this got to do with the Chrisleys? The Chrisleys did not stab anybody, They may have signed a contract with their production company that they can only, maybe. Yes. Thankfully, that man is being charged as an adult. He killed a boy. He deserves to be charged as an adult. Yeah, and I'm not sure who you guys are talking about, but anybody that stabs anybody, that's way different from, allegedly not paying your taxes. And then, you get accused of not paying your taxes, but then you sue the state who said you didn't pay them and you get $1 million from them. Yeah, I would never treat him like a good person if he stabbed somebody. I hate that it's turned into that, Anyways, you guys, thank y'all for hanging out. Give this video a thumbs up on your way out if you don't mind. I would so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And I have some content that I'm going to be working through today, so just keep your eye out on the channel. Oh, so only if you stab someone you go to prison? Got it. Who said that? Who said only if you stab someone you go to prison? The Chrisleys have been in prison for 2 years. And no, you're the one that said something about stabbing, and I said, yes, if you stab someone, you surely go to prison. I want you to go to prison. Nobody said that's the only way you go to prison. This is crazy. People are insane with like how they twist things. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the one that said he stabbed somebody. And it's like, yeah, then he should go to prison. Duh. If you kill somebody, you should go to prison. Especially if it was an intentional, you should go to prison. Alice Johnson isn't white. She sure isn't. She sure isn't. She's not white. And she helped with this. She pushed for this. Yeah, it just sucks that people love to play the victim and they they got to be this way. It just sucks. Guy just pulled up in an SUV and said the Todd was already gone. They were convicted, but they also won an appeal. Do your research, Valerie. Do your research. Do your yes, I love the yes. Well, I don't love the case, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Do your research before you get on here saying this kind of stuff because Todd and Julie Chrisley, the only people they had to testify against them, lied on the stand. One admitted to falsifying the documents. He admitted to it. And all he said was, well, they knew about it. Yeah, I did all of it. I'm the one that got all these loans for them. I falsified documents. I had an email I made an email in Todd's name. I falsified all these things. Oh, but they knew about it. The banks even said Julie's name was on none of this. Julie came in, paid a couple of payments at times. You know, they supposedly stole money from banks and screwed over banks, but the people at those banks on the stand only talked positively about them. The banks didn't go after them. No, the government did. The banks didn't, the government did. The state of Georgia tried to. The state of Georgia tried to say that Todd and Julie wasn't paying their taxes. Guess what? Not only did it come to find out they were paying their taxes, but they overpaid their taxes. Todd and Julie sued the state of Georgia, won $1 million settlement. Okay. And then the search warrant, the very first search warrant that was executed against the Chrisleys was an illegal search warrant. That every attorney that's ever looked at this is like, this case should have been dropped from day one because of this right here. This should have never went any further. There was information that was never supposed to be brought up in trial because it was obtained illegally, but the judge allowed it. The judge allowed it. And then when the prosecutor said, whoa, this isn't supposed to be talked about. This information is from the what is it called? The forbidden fruit. The forbidden fruit. The judge said, oh, well, not a big deal. It was a big deal. The IRS agent that was on the stand for the prosecution admitted to lying. Admitted. She said on the stand that the Chrisleys owed a lot of money for several years due to back taxes that they didn't pay. The attorney said, well, we're going to need you to send us, send something to my office because the Chrisleys, they want to pay this. They were not aware that they owe taxes for these years. So can you forward this information because they would like to take care of it? This is in the trial. Sure, absolutely. Never happened. So then the attorney got in touch with her and said, hey, why haven't you sent this to me? And she said, well, they actually don't owe anything. And she was like, what do you mean? What do you mean they don't owe anything? Well, the prosecution told me to testify to that. This woman wrote a statement, and that's how they won an appeal because the IRS agent wrote a statement saying, yes, what I said on the stand was not true. I was told by the prosecution that I needed to say that. The only two people that testified that Todd and Julie owed money, falsified documents, one admitted to lying, the other one admitted that they did all of it, but just said the Chrisleys knew and got full immunity. So please do your research. They did so much wrong. They railroaded them. Just do your research into this case before you get on here saying like, oh, white privilege or blah, 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 blah. Do your research, please. That's all I got to say. When you're granted immunity, that means you cannot tell a lie on the stand or the immunity is null and void. What do you think he will have his first meal? I don't know. I think his first meal may be Julie. Just kidding. We can tell the truth till we're blue in the face, and we can tell people that all they have to do is research for themselves, but they won't. They don't care about if they're innocent. They don't care about facts. They don't care if they're innocent. They only want to say like what they've heard through outlets or whatever, Steak and Julie. What's going to be Todd's first meal? Steak and Julie. I know, right? Anyways, you guys, go watch Emily D. Baker. Look up Emily D. Baker, Todd Chrisley. This is a former DA, former prosecutor. She's still a practicing attorney, from my understanding, and she goes over all of this. She has no dog in this race to lie about anything or to say it should have been this way, should have been that way, and she was blown away by this. Hands down, no lie, my first meal, got a home-cooked meal for my mama. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I agree. The fruit of the poisonous tree. Exactly. That's what it was. Anyways, you guys, thank y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. And I have, like I said, I have the live that Pumpkin's mistress did, and it's like an hour long. So I'm gonna try to edit it, get it up, and then we'll go over that together probably. But I will see you guys in the next one. If anything comes out, we will talk about it. Wash your mouth out. Sorry. So sorry. I love y'all. Subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.